We must reach every section of America, especially the raw frontiers. We must not be afraid of men, devils, wild animals, or disease. Our motto must always be forward.
Methodist church records from 1844 record a church membership of over 1 million, with 4,000 ministers riding circuits in the U.S. These preachers spreading the word were a different breed, says historian Dale Patterson.
When you started across the Appalachians, or even across the Potomac, you could travel days before you got to a town, a day or so from one farm to the next. And once you got into the frontier, it was even more lonely.
Some of their mementos give us a glimpse into their unusual circumstances.
In his lap desk, you can see that he had to carry everything he needed. Fishing lines in case he needed to go fishing, wax to seal letters, even bleeding instruments are here.
Barbara Deffin curates the collection found at historic Barrett's Chapel.
We have Ezekiel Cooper's lap desk. There's also 2 hidden drawers in the desk in which we found letters from women proposing marriage to him. He cut out their names, so we're not exactly sure who they were.
Typically, circuit riders traveled 200 to 500-mile routes on horseback. At times, they preached every day. Sometimes circuits were so large it took 6 weeks to complete a cycle. Exhaustion, illness, animal attacks, and unfriendly encounters were constant threats.
I was pursued by the wicked, knocked down, and left almost dead on the highway, my face scarred and bleeding, and then imprisoned.
Days and nights were spent in the elements, hunting or fishing for food, and depending on the hospitality of strangers.
The circuit riders had to spend the nights with any family that would put them up, eat whatever was available to eat.
John Talley's diary recalls a meal shared by a family he stayed with.
Fed upon musty cornbread and the tough lungs of a deer fried in rancid bacon grease, and corn coffee sweetened with syrup.
Some kept careful notes. John Perner wrote,
"This was a good stopping place," or he would say, "I will never stop there again," because of the accommodations that they had. And he even talks about staying with people that were not Methodist, but he tried to spread the gospel to them also.
Ministers rarely served longer than 2 years on the same circuit. Some say this provided a great opportunity to recycle sermons, but the schedule also prevented preachers from marrying, which might distract from the ministry.
While riding through the rain and dark, with no human being with me, my soul was comforted on the reflection of the omnipresence of my Savior. I felt he was near to bless and preserve me.
Theirs was a difficult and often short life. Prior to 1847, nearly half of Methodist circuit riding preachers died before the age of 30. But their passion for saving souls was unprecedented, then and now.
Thanks be to God, He compensated me for all my toil, for many precious souls were awakened and converted to God.